Welcome to this YouTube channel. In this video we are going to talk about the top 10 weirdest things found in Area 51. Before starting this video, like this video, and subscribe to our channel for future updates. The Nevada Test and Training Range is home to a highly classified United States Air Force (USAF) installation known as Area 51. The facility is formerly known as Homey Airport, XTA, KXTA, or Groom Lake, and is controlled by Edwards Air Force Base, after the Salt Flats situated next to its airfield. The top 10 weirdest things found in Area 51 are as follows. Number 10. U-2 spy planes. The Lockheed U-2, also known as the Dragon Lady, is a high-altitude reconnaissance aircraft operated by the United States Air Force, USAF, and formerly flown by the Central Intelligence Agency, CIA. It gathers intelligence day and night at a high altitude, 70,000 feet, 21,300 meters, and in all weather conditions. U-2s have been involved in post-Cold War battles in Afghanistan and Iraq, as well as supporting a number of multinational NATO operations. Electronic sensor research, satellite calibration, scientific study, and communications have all been done using the U-2. Along with the Boeing B-52, Boeing KC-135, and Lockheed C-130, the U-2 is one of only a few aircraft types that have served the U.S. Air Force for more than 50 years. The most recent variants, TR-1, U-2R, and U-2S, were introduced in the 1980s, with the U-2S receiving a technical upgrade in 2012. The U-2 was one of the most infamous aircraft of the Cold War, a plane designed to fly over hostile territory at altitudes too high for enemy fighters, or missiles to reach and take photos of unparalleled detail, and, as recently revealed, it was instrumental in the development of the secret Area 51 airbase. Number 9. SR71 Blackbird. The Lockheed State Route 71 Blackbird is a long-range, high-altitude, Mach 3+ strategic reconnaissance aircraft designed and constructed by Lockheed Corporation in the United States. The United States Air Force, USAF, and NASA both operated it. The phrase "faster than a speeding bullet" may conjure up images of a particular Kryptonian superhero, but it was literally true of the SR-71 Blackbird, the sleek, stealthy Air Force espionage jet that took to the skies for the first time 50 years ago on December 22, 1964. The Blackbird cruised at more than 3 times the speed of sound, thanks to Lockheed's famed Skunk Works team, a top-secret squad of techno-wizards at the height of the Cold War. That amounts to speeds of more than 2,000 miles per hour at altitudes of 75,000 to 85,000 feet, far too high and fast for an opposing jet or a surface-to-air missile to shoot down. Number 8. M21 D21 Tagboard. The Mach 3 A-12 spy plane constructed by Lockheed in the early 1960s was identified by the CIA as a probable mothership for an advanced surveillance drone. After Powers U-2 was shot down in the Soviet Union, a program to launch such a drone from the A-12 assumed precedence. The highly classified drone has been assigned the codename Q-12. The Q-12 was made to be disposable in order to save weight and money. Its camera payload and navigation system were designed to be ejected and collected after a parachute descent in the nose section. The Q-12 was carried on the back of the A-12 launch vehicle classified as M21, with its nomenclature changed to D21. The letters M and D stood for mother and daughter, respectively. The project was now known as Tagboard. The D21A, made of titanium and other radar-absorbing plastic composites, resembled a stovepipe with a cone in its intake. The drone resembled a swept-back manta ray thanks to its vertical tail fin and wings that ran the length of the stovepipe. The D21 was 42 feet 10 inches tall, weighed 11,000 pounds, and had a wingspan of 19 feet. It could fly at 1,700 miles per hour at a ceiling of 95,000 feet and had a range of 3,450 miles. The M21 was a 2-seat version of the A-12 with a nose-up drone, carried on a pylon on the fuselage centerline between the tailfines. A periscope allowed the Launch Control Officer (LCO) in the backseat to keep an eye on the D21. 2 M21s, as well as a first batch of 7 D21s, were manufactured for test flights. The M21 and D21 combo made their first non-launch flight on December 22, 1964, to investigate aerodynamics and other system difficulties. The maiden launch took place on March 5, 1966. Number 7. Drones. As it approaches its 7th decade of operations, the Air Force's secretive flight test site deep inside the Nevada test and training range, known as Area 51 or Groom Lake, among other colorful titles, continues to develop. Since the turn of the 2000s, the distant complex has developed substantially, including the addition of a gigantic and yet unexplained hangar erected near the base's remote southern end. Now, a larger addition to an existing hangar complex with a unique design suggests that the age of enormous swarms of unmanned combat air vehicles (UCAVs) has here. Number 6. Trespassing humans. They Can't Stop Us All, also known as Storm Area 51 or Area 51 Raid, was an American Facebook event and series of music festivals that took place in the desert near Area 51, a United States Air Force (USAF) facility within the Nevada Test and Training Range, on and around September 20, 2019. On June 27, 2019, Matty Roberts wrote a satirical shitpost asking Facebook users to come together and raid the site in pursuit of extraterrestrial life, which conspiracy lore suggests may be hidden there. On the event's page, more than 2 million people responded, going, and 1.5 million interested, resulting in extensive media attention, and the event becoming an internet meme. Roberts later maintained that his objectives for the event were simply comic, and he disavowed responsibility for any casualties if the military base had been raided. Number 5. Camo Dudes. Orange stakes identify the base's perimeter, which is monitored by guards in white pickup trucks and camouflage fatigues. Enthusiasts affectionately refer to the guards as Camo Dudes. The guards are refusing to answer inquiries about their employers, although the New York Daily News reports that there are signs they are employed by a contractor such as AECOM. Trespassers are subject to lethal force, according to signs posted around the base perimeter. Surveillance cameras and motion detectors are among the technology utilized to keep the base's perimeter secure. Some of these motion detectors are put on public property a short distance from the base to alert guards of approaching visitors. Number 4. UFOs. Rather than clarifying when UFO sightings were actually top-secret jets, the government has occasionally allowed public fascination with aliens to grow. The latest official assessment on UFOs, which the Pentagon now prefers to refer to as unidentified aerial phenomena, is unlikely to resolve any issues. The report's predicted assertion that no classified American programs exist to explain, which is be out on Friday, will almost certainly be ignored by those predisposed to dismiss government declarations. Those who are most zealous about extraterrestrial visitation beliefs will mostly dismiss its failure to find affirmative evidence of alien spaceships. Number 3. Spacecraft. The 1947 crash of a flying saucer near Roswell, New Mexico, is known as the Roswell Event. Roswell Army Airfield (RAF) released a news release on July 8, 1947, claiming to have retrieved a flying disc from a ranch near Roswell. The Roswell incident was not brought up again until the late 1970s, when a retired lieutenant colonel said in an interview with a UFO researcher that the weather balloon explanation was a cover-up. Witnesses to the crash sites and those involved stated that one or more alien spacecraft had crash-landed, and that the extraterrestrial inhabitants had been retrieved by the military, who subsequently engaged in a cover-up. Number 2. Aliens. Before Laz's interview, rumors about Area 51's link to aliens had been circulating since the publication of Charles Berlitz and William Moore's The Roswell Incident in 1980. The book focused on the 1947 occurrence in Roswell, New Mexico, in which a mysterious object, dubbed a flying saucer by the media, but dismissed as a weather balloon by the military, sparked mild but not frenzied public curiosity. The device was eventually confirmed to be a nuclear surveillance balloon by the government in 1994. Berlitz and Moore's 1980 book, on the other hand, tapped into the occult paranoia of the time by asserting a complicated government UFO cover-up, and while they didn't identify Area 51 specifically, tales of massive, labyrinthine underground military compounds in the desert began to take shape. Number 1. Film set. It's been nearly 4 decades since Neil Armstrong took his giant leap for mankind, assuming of course that he ever left the Earth. Doubters claim that the US government staged the moon landings in order to beat the Russians in the space race, with Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin acting out their mission on a secret film set, either high in the Hollywood Hills or deep within Area 51, depending on the idea. With just NASA's images and movies of the Apollo missions accessible, there is no independent proof that the lunar landings were anything other than a fraud. Critics argue that a film of Aldrin putting a waving American flag on the moon demonstrates he was not in space. They claim that the movement of the flag indicates the presence of wind, which is impossible in a vacuum. According to NASA, Aldrin twisted the flagpole to get the moon's soil, causing the flag to shift. Forget about the hundreds of independently verified moon rocks that astronauts have brought back. What do you think about this video? Do let us know down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from us again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go.